What's going on, everybody? Christian Hernandez here with Sports Video Group. We're here with another edition of our SVG Sports Tech On Demand, covering all the news and notes from this spring season. We're here to be joined by a member of the Marshall Electronics team. He is Tod Musgrave. He's director of Cameras. Tod, how you doing, sir? And how is your 2021 going so far?
Doing great. Can't complain. As sports comes back, it makes me a happier man.
It's the perfect time. We've went from not having it to slowly coming back to now having so much that it's just like a shock to our systems, but it's probably one of the best shocks you can possibly have.
Yeah, it's hard to get back up to the speed we're used to, right? As far as number of events. But I'm also excited because my son plays travel baseball, so those tournaments are also happening. Competition of all sorts always it fills my day and certainly fun to watch.
As a baseball man myself, that is news to my ears. But we're here to talk about technology and what Marshall Electronics has been up to. You just released a couple of new products and camera offerings to the industry. I won't spoil it for the viewers that are watching. I'll leave that to you, Tod. What are some of those things that you're giving to the industry?
So historically, we've used a wide range of rolling shutter cameras, and rolling shutter cameras in CMOS and small size and affordability has been great. But we always get that question. I'm at a racing event. We do a lot of racing stuff, either on board or in the track, or flip-flop shots on the grass of watching these cars speed by. And some of those real fast motion type applications, global shutter, it's a better sensor to use. So we announced our 568, which is our miniature sized global shutter. We're actually using a larger sensor as well. So it's a 1/1.8 inch, 25% larger pixel size as our other miniature POV cameras. And so we're very excited about that. We also have a compact size. It's a little bit larger than this one that handles the CS mount and C mount. So one of the benefits of all of our Marshall miniature POV cameras is interchangeable lenses. So we have dozens of prime lenses, different focal lengths, different apertures, but 3G SDI output, Genlock ability. So we're also offering that on the small camera level. Remote adjustability. We're also adding color matrix. So soon after launch, we'll be adding the color matrix so you can get similar looks from each of your cameras in your workflow. Right. But the global shutter, a little bit more expensive than rolling shutter, but the prices come down and we're able to fit it within our miniature POV camera line.
Okay, awesome. Global shutter is a good thing to go to the next question, because like you mentioned, Marshall is known for those POV cameras that go into like the nooks and crannies of arenas to get those unique shots. And you mentioned stuff like racetracks and even like locker room POVs and things of that nature.
Right. Dugouts, bullpens.
Exactly.
We're experimenting with cameras with some of our broadcast engineers that we work with. Right. We sell them the cameras and I work with them with spec and communication and protocol and that kind of thing. But even can you imagine an camera in the Major League Baseball? I mean, come on, it's coming.
Exactly.
So it's exciting, as well as dirt cameras in front of the batter.
Right.
Basketball with backboard cameras. We've been in the last 4 or 5 Super Bowls with the pylon cameras with broadcast engineer out of the Northeast. So we sell into a lot of almost every major sports, college sports. If you need another perspective, and as we know, more perspectives adds to the production value. But also a lot of onboard racing stuff, right. As you mentioned, and right. In the tracks, in the pits, that kind of thing.
Exactly. You touched a little bit about the differences between global and rolling shutter. Can you dive a little bit deeper into the differences and what are the benefits of either or, and where do you see the global shutter kind of making a difference when it comes to these live sports?
Generally speaking, global shutter is better in speed. So if you have ultra fast pace action in your field of view, a global shutter exposes the entire sensor at once, start to finish. A rolling shutter starts at the top, down, it rolls through the image. Sometimes you see that motion blur as a race car drives by real quick, or if you're in a car and you see a tall building in the background, some of that it'll look like it's leaning kind of.
Right.
That's because of the rolling shutter, right? It's rolling through the shot. which is fine. I'm not saying a rolling shutter is bad. Everything at a price point. We sell into a lot of applications with crash cams, right? So it's easier to replace a $500 camera than it is a $5,000 to $10,000 camera when you run over it, right?
Exactly.
But so rolling shutter is good in a lot of applications, and faster paced stuff like racing, pucks flying by or balls moving very fast. A global shutter is always preferable. Also in low light. So we sell into a lot of esports applications where light is challenging. And we also have 25% larger pixel sizes in these cameras. So in the studio.
Right. Okay. Real quick before I let you go, Todd, kind of trends moving forward over the next 12 months. Where do you see the POV cameras in this sense? Marshall's, where do different camera applications and the improvements of technology? What do you see down the pipeline?
Well, I mean, to use some of the words you've heard very frequently, REMI production, obviously that's fiber to getting back to the studio thousands of miles away where your announcers are calling the game. So more cameras and more perspectives at the studio, at the stadium, or at the site or the racetrack, but fiber back or IP. We've released a lot of IP cameras over the course of the pandemic, and we are adding in the SRT. We're adding in the NDI stuff and IP control, all going back to a main control center. So. IP obviously getting a lot larger, use of fiber over long distance. But I focus on quality of video in our cameras, and the global shutter is an exciting add to our line.
Awesome. A global shutter. We're looking very much forward to seeing how that transforms the game, I guess you could say. But for now, Todd, thanks for taking the time, sir. Continued success in 2021. And hopefully we get to see each other in person, because we're getting very much close to the time where we can.
We're getting very close. We'll see you soon.